Hi guys. So I've sat here for like over 30 minutes or even 45 minutes thinking about what to do in this video today, and I actually wanted to talk about opinions on mental illness in Nigeria. A good topic, yeah? I feel the same way. But at the same time, I felt like it's not going to be a solid form of information. It's not going to do you nor I any good by just listening to some of these opinions without the ability to cancel them. And based on the fact that I am not a specialist in mental illnesses and disorders, it will be impossible for me to come on here based on other researches that probably have not been updated in a very long time to sit here and talk about those opinions, and using a debatic method to cancel it would rather do me more harm, talk more of you guys than what I intend for the video to actually do. So I would be posting that video next week. So the plan is to speak with a psychiatrist, one who has all of these data and is quite equipped to handle, or rather to provide tangible answers to these opinions, and in other words, stereotypes. Because for me, stereotypes have affected me in so many ways than one. From my previous video, how getting diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder changed my life, you could see that, the fears I have towards accepting that, in the initial stage that I might have a mental disorder wasn't the fact that, okay, it's just like every other illness, For me, it didn't feel like it was just another form of illness. It felt like, okay, I have done something terrible in my past, or I have done something terrible to a person, and this is probably what I am facing. And we all know people will definitely have something to say about something. And people also recognize that their words have power and they affect people in so many ways. And what we say is not just affecting a person, but as well influencing other people, because our actions and our words help shape some people, like children in our society. And we're not only having those opinions for ourselves, but passing them along. And you find people talking about mental illness in the most disgusting way. I was reading something previously and I saw that, in our history here in Nigeria, I would say this as a matter of fact, because it wasn't just in one article. There's research have been backed up by certain documents that I also had to go deep and read. Was, people with mental illnesses were either killed, burned, driven away from their homes because they felt, mental illness is contagious. And funny enough, the poll that, I carried out to understand where people's heads are at in terms of mental illness, I find that there are about 33 or 30 something % of people who still believe that mental illness can be contracted, via, touching a person, talking to a person, all those very ignorant sorts of opinions. And it's very funny, at the same time very sad, because we have access to information. We don't need to go into a library anymore. In the comfort of your home, you will find very information on this topic, on certain things. Try as much as we can to, I find that people do not try as much as they can to update their knowledge. People just have a way of adding to their knowledge in terms of learning different things when they have learned this about something, be it is from 1996 or 1984, they stick with that and don't bother to update their knowledge. And that has kept mental illness in a 2% corner in terms of attention in Nigeria today. You find, people with such dark opinions, and because of how much people do not care for people that are mentally ill or suffering from one mental disorder or the other, the government and society is not well furnished with ways to tackle this problem. And I, for one, want to be able to help people update their knowledge, because it's not about knowing a particular thing at a particular time. It's about going with the times. As much as you know about that thing at a particular time, you should be able to update yourself enough to know about it now. You find people talking about mental illness as a spiritual attack. And the one that actually got me when I saw it yesterday was divine punishment. I am going to say yes, I have been influenced in this way. Because growing up, watching Nigerian films, you see that people take mental illness as a reward for a bad deed done to someone by God. Most Nigerian films, you see like Chiwe Talagu. If you don't know who Chiwe Talagu is, please go look for one Nigerian film to watch. Chiwe Talagu, I'll put his name on the screen, so probably you want to, know what I'm talking about. You see Chiwe Talagu being the bad person, doing something to Nkiru Sivanus, and then, a pastor comes into the house, probably almost at the end of the movie, and prays about it, and then, he starts to display madness or something. And to find out for yourself if these opinions are true or tall tales, you would have to turn on your post notification button for next time, because my next video I'll be bringing in a specialist, a psychiatrist with proper tools and proper information to answer these questions. Because I know there are certain people that are watching me right now and they'll be like, yeah, I know somebody that actually did something bad to a person, and the person went to church, they prayed, and this other person confessed and ran mad. So is that person's punishment? I believe in the law of karma. But when your whole opinion, the entire opinion you have about mental illness stems from the spiritual, the supernatural, it's ridiculous, because there are other people who biologically, they're prone to have, or, this mental illness. You cut them off. Now, the other one that got me really, sorry if I'm looking here, I'm trying to look at my monitor to be sure that I'm, filling up the screen. The other one that got me laughing my ass off was mental illness is as a result of poverty. If you're poor, you're mentally ill. How does social status influence it? Sorry, now I can't even speak right. How does social status influence your mental status? Yes, it influences in a way where you're depressed, but that doesn't mean depression is not something that happens once in your lifetime. I am not trying to belittle those people that say they're depressed or nothing. You can only be diagnosed with a clinical or whatever form of depression if it has, gone on, or it goes on for about 6 months, or, it takes a period of time. Like how you would say you have a headache and then automatically say you have malaria. It's impossible for you to just immediately say you have malaria. That headache has to go, has to continue for a period of time, followed by other symptoms. There are other symptoms to be diagnosed. You can't just necessarily say, okay, I have anxiety disorder. We all suffer from anxiety, which is a fact, but it has to go through or has to go. Now I just feel like I am rambling and raving, but the fact is, opinions have scarred me in certain ways. Not scarred me. In the initial stage of before I got diagnosed and everything, it had quite a big impact on me. And there's some answers that I am not very comfortable with. When somebody with a form of mental disorder is coming to tell you, okay, it makes you feel better, but it will make you feel way more better if someone with the right tools and materials and information comes on here to talk about these things. So stay tuned for next week, where I will be posting a video with me and a psychiatrist looking deeper and deeper into these opinions on mental health and verifying them or correcting them, so that as a person dealing with all of this, be it you're dealing with it or you are not, it then goes to help you update your knowledge. And at the same time, for those dealing with it, it gives you a better view of what is going on with you and helps cope certain guilt you might have that might have led you to this point. I just needed to drop this video. I am so sorry, guys, that I couldn't bring out a proper video today, but I just felt like it would be terrible for me to not just post any video, because I said I was going to post the video. So I hope this gives you guys an insight into what I intend for this channel, and also what I intend for you and me, because I know you coming on here to watch this video is to also update your information, update your knowledge, and at the same time help you tackle with those people that for a fact are going through that, a loved one, a lover or whatnot, a family member, a friend, a child, whatnot, and I want to be able to give that information because I did not get those information. And I believe that if we're looking in the right places for certain answers, there's a possibility that those answers will come to us. And I know this video was all over the place, but I just needed to get this out there. So thank you guys for watching. Please do turn on your post notification bell, so that when I post that video next week, you won't have to okay, I wasn't informed, I didn't tell you, you didn't know or whatnot. So until next time, love you guys. Bye.